Americans consume 80% of the world's pain medications. 80%. So what I have to ask you, is our pain physical? Is it emotional? Is it intellectual? Or is it spiritual? That's the question. Is it our lifestyle?
ShockwaveSound.com.
I'm 55 years old now. At 46, I had what's called a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. And people are like, you gotta be kidding me. You're healthy, you look great, how can that be? I worked myself to ridiculous, unattainable days. Single parent, drove 4 hours a day to take my child to a private school, just like everybody here, you want the best for your kids, doing impossible things, started patients every day late, knowing I was gonna be late when I got up out of bed in the morning, maybe had 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Until one day in my office, I wasn't functioning anymore. My office manager said to me, "Doc, you're having a stroke." And I said, "I know." And she said, "I'm gonna call the ambulance." But I said, "No, that's not good. That's way too, dramatic. Just drive me to the hospital." By the time we got there, 20 minutes later, I couldn't walk, I couldn't speak. Had all the tests done in the hospital, and the answer was you had a TIA, and the truth is you're probably gonna have another one within the next 3 months. And that was it.
Shockwave Sound.
So what do you do? So I began to look at our system and said, what we're really good at is emergency care. If I had an emergency, this is the place I'd want to be, right? What did I do? I went to the emergency room. Diagnostics we are great at. We can diagnose, we can do all the tests, we can tell you, here you go, pinpointed. But are we good at prevention? Are we good at teaching people about lifestyle? Are we good at the big global picture of what a human being is? I'd say no.
Preview.
So we have to start with the paradigm shift. Open up your minds a little bit and share with me here. We don't have a headache because we have a lack of Tylenol. We don't have depression because we have a lack of Elavil. We don't have osteoarthrosis because we have a lack of Celebrex. We don't have ADD or ADHD because we have a lack of Ritalin. See the mentality here?
Preview.
I attended Harvard postgraduate medical school. I did a program in body, mind, spirit resiliency. And they're studying this body, mind, spirit, and it's really being documented with the research of this is the way it works. And yet there's so many people that are still afraid to connect all these dots together, that we are more than just our physical health. So the first of the pillars is physical health. It takes work, but actually it's the easiest to change because there are steps of what you can do and how you can change. We have all the data. With the numbers that I just shared with you should make you just shake your head at how we're conducting health here. I mean, I would go on to say that the debate that we spent about healthcare crisis and having to change our system, that we don't have a healthcare crisis, we have a crisis in how we think about health. Next, we look at emotional health. Taking care of your physical body is the first step to everything. You have to have your physiology in place to move on to the others, but it's the first step towards emotional health.
Preview.
The more we learn, we realize that there's a connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit. The stronger the body, the healthier the mind. Typically, we think of intellectual health as academic knowledge. That's how most people think, are you smart? Did you get a good score in the SATs? You good at trivia contests? You think in history about people like Albert Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, Richard Branson. They would all have flunked out of school. So there are different types of intellect, and that's another part where we're missing in society, where we put so much stress into things that really don't complete the whole human person. And then the most powerful, the greatest of all the intellects is wisdom. And I believe that wisdom is when we have intellectual health combined with instinct, that it makes people with wisdom so powerful because it's just this combination of everything. And there are ways that we can enhance and kind of bring this out in people. You know, so this is what we really have to look at for the complete human being. Culturally, we've put in all our time into our possessions. It's all about what we can gather. And when you think about at the end of our lives, we spent our entire life gathering possessions, and there's only one thing that we take with us, and that's our soul.
ShockwaveSound.com.
The soul says, I am me with features of all my own. It makes you intimately you, even more than your emotions. Your soul makes you you. You can mask your emotions. You cannot mask your soul. It's you.